Hi everyone, my name is Emma. I work here at SuperControl in our marketing team. We're joined here today as well with Mark Simpson from Boostly. We're really excited to be hosting this webinar with him. He's got so much invaluable information to pass along to you. The webinar is set to start in just 1 or 2 minutes. I just want to make some announcements before we go ahead. So the first announcement is this webinar is pre-recorded. We recorded this on Tuesday night. The reason we pre-recorded this is purely just to keep in with both Mark and I's schedule and to make sure we got this webinar at a time that was most suitable for everyone else. And that's now. A recording of this webinar will be available on our help centre after the webinar. Do get in touch if you need that link. I'll be happy to send it to you. But if you go into our help centre and type in webinar, you'll be able to find that. Any questions you have throughout this webinar, please do just keep them coming. Whilst they won't be answered live in the video, I'll still be at the other side of the keyboard making sure we keep up with the answers. Any questions that either we don't have an answer for just now, don't have enough time to get to, or are directed at Mark, they will still be answered, just not within the webinar. We collate them all at the end and I'll get in touch with you directly. So not to worry, please do keep the questions coming if you have any. The second announcement is related to our Facebook integration. We recorded this webinar on the Tuesday evening, and on the Wednesday afternoon, we found out that Facebook have changed the specifications of their API. We are working really hard to make sure that SuperControl can meet those new specifications. So at the moment, what that means is we can allow anyone else to take on that Facebook integration. At the moment, like I say, we're working on that. However, the people who currently have that integration should not be affected. If this changes, we will be in touch. You'll be first to know. At the moment, there will be no more people able to go onto our Facebook integration. It will only be the people who are currently on it. That being said, the webinar that you're just about to watch has so many amazing tips from Mark, which can be used outside of SuperControl just to purely boost your make your Facebook page more social, make it more relevant, get more direct bookings, and mostly make it more engaging. And Mark has loads of really good tips to share with you on that front. So without further ado, I do hope you enjoy this webinar, and like I said, keep questions coming. We'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much for inviting me on. I'm glad that we could finally be able to do this.
Yeah.
And what I want to do in this video is show everybody watching a couple of tips that they can do to not only increase followers, increase likes, get bookings from it, but I want to start off by showing you a nice little trick that you can do if you haven't yet got that magic number of 2,000, because I know there will be a lot of people watching this and thinking, well, what am I going to do? How can I get a book now button to my website from Facebook if I haven't got 2,000? So I'm just going to very quickly share my screen. And what you will notice, what pops up on the screen, will be the Granary Farmstay Facebook group. Sorry, Facebook page. And the Granary is my family business. So for those of you who are watching this thinking, who is this guy? What is he talking about? Why am I listening to him? This is the family business. I grew up here. It is now 30 years a business. And 2012, I came back into the family business in a full-time role to help the family run it. My background is sales, marketing, social media. I spent a lot of time in London, spent a lot of time in Sydney, learning all these tips and tricks. And when I came back into the family business, I put it into action. So before that, we didn't even have a Facebook page. But over the past, 7 years now, we've been steadily growing the numbers. And we're fortunate enough, we've got more than 2,000 likes and followers. But what I want to do on this is I wanted to show you something that you can quickly do right now to get people to go straight to your website, and it's all involved in a post. So everybody should know how to create a post on Facebook. I just want to add in a little bit of context, I am on a computer. I'm on my Apple Mac. I am not on a phone or a tablet doing this. So if you were to try and do this on your phone or your tablet, it would look a little bit different. But hopefully everybody is going to do this on a computer just because it makes life a little bit easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a post. So to keep it really super simple, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to book directly on our website, and you're just going to put in your URL, your domain, your website address. Now, if you wanted to send people straight to the booking page, so if you want to send people straight to where on your website they can book with the SuperControl engine, then do so. But I'm going to send people just for now to the website, just for this example. So as you can see, it gives me all these options on things that I'd like to do, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to click share now. Now, what you will notice when that has gone through, it will have a little link here. Okay, so I've got a link that can go through to the website. So we want this to be the first thing that people see when they come onto our Facebook page. Doesn't matter whether it's now or 6 or 12 months down the line. So there's these 3 little buttons at the top here. All you got to do, click on that, and there's a little option that says pin to the top of the page. So when somebody now comes onto our Facebook page, the first thing that they will see is that post. And if you ever wanted to check what Facebook looks like as a visitor visiting your page instead of you, the admin, again, you've got these 3 little dots here. Come down, and one of the options is view as page visitor. So this will be what any other person apart from you sees when they first come onto your Facebook page. And when the screen loads up, after the shop and after the photos and the reviews, you've got this. Book directly on our website, go to. And when they click on that, it goes straight to your website, which is where they can make a booking. So if you aren't fortunate enough to have the lucky 2000s and you can't get a straight book direct button straight in there, then you can still do so. You can still have it as the first thing that people see. Because when somebody lands on your website, they could be coming for a number of reasons. They may have already booked, or they may be looking to thinking of book, or they may have been directed to you via a friend or family member. Now, if you wanted to, you could be a bit creative with this, and you could edit it and start to talk about the benefits of booking directly with you. You can always put, these are the reasons why you should book direct, early check-in, save best rates, and don't book via a third party. You can put all of that in there. You can add a nice image, you could add a video so it draws attention. But just for this purposes, I just wanted to show you something very quickly. So yeah, so that is literally how you can work around that 2000 mark. There may be some people watching this who are miles away from it. There may be people that have already passed it. So hopefully that helps. Is that all right, Emma?
Absolutely, Mark. No, that is really, really useful. I think it's so important for people to know that, and know that really, really simple sort of 5-minute action will bring so much positivity to their business.
Yeah, and I assume that anybody who has got more than 2000, they can type in a question now, and we'll be able to show them how they can actually get the SuperControl button in there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So I will add in at the end of this webinar just a quick 2-minute how-to. What do you need to look at? What help center articles do you need to look at in order to make that integration happen?
Awesome. So what I want to do on the rest of this little webinar today is to show you how you can make your Facebook page a bit more social. Now, what do I mean by that? So when people come onto Facebook, when they come on to, say, Instagram or YouTube or anywhere, they're not coming on to Facebook to buy. They're coming on to be social. They're coming on to check on friends, family members, what's going on. So it's really important that you structure and you set up your Facebook page to match that. Now, what do I mean? So if I go back and I just share my screen again, and I'll come back into the Facebook page here. Now, hands up everybody that's watching this. You can either put it in the chat box or you can literally just put your hand in the air. Your profile picture, is it a picture of the exterior of your property? So basically a picture of your building. I see this so many times. But again, your profile picture is the first thing that people will see when they are scrolling around on Facebook. So if you, in the notifications, the profile picture is the first thing that people see. If they're scrolling and you've interacted with something, again, it's the profile picture is what they'll see. And if you're showing them just a plain exterior shot of a building, people will switch off because they know it's a business page. They'll know it's business. They'll instantly just switch off. But if you've got a picture of you, or a picture of your team, or a picture of, I don't know, a member of staff or somebody having an experience, like this shot here is a picture of my dad with a guest holding a pig. It instantly knows to the person looking at it what our page is all about. And again, we back it up with the granary farm stay. So if somebody sees our profile picture, and it may be somebody that has never stayed with us before, or somebody stayed with us in the past, or is thinking about staying with us, and they see that, then they're more likely to relate to it than if it was just a plain exterior shot of a building. So the profile picture, and again, it's something that people skirt by, but I really would spend some time. Don't use your logo because, again, it relates to a business, but take some time. There's two different ways that you can go down on this, depending on how you interact with your guests. And again, you've always got to think about the type of experience that a guest has when they stay at your property. Now, do you greet them? Do you interact with the guests during their stay, pre and post stay? Are you the one that shows them around? Are you the one that checks them out? Are you the one that, are you and your team, your members of staff, whether it's just you and your partner, or you've actually got people working for you, are you the ones that are greeting the guests? Because your is the picture that you should be using online here. Or is it the second way, where it is a guest just arrives at your property, whether it's a cottage, a rental home, on the other end of the island of where you are, or whatever you do, and the only interaction you have is via email? Well, then, if that's the case, then it depends on what this picture is going to be. Now, if yours is the latter, and if you don't have anything to do with the guest during the stay, you literally just take payment, send an email to say thank you, then what you can do here is you can be a little bit clever. And when it comes to next taking pictures of your property, whenever that may be, whether it's back end of this year or next year or 2021, when you go to take the pictures and when you have the photo shoot done, try and get a couple of people to come along, and they can mimic, pretend, act to be guests at your property. Because then what you can do is you can set up a nice shot, like what I call the unique selling photo. So your main picture that sells your property, and have them having a good time at the property. So if you can sell the experience within this. So again, it's got people in it, so people will relate to it, but they're having a good time at your property. So then people can relate that to them having a good time at your property. So again, that profile picture is key. Find out more about that on the Boostly blog, boostly.co.uk/blog. If you type in photos, I've done a whole article on this, how you to structure your pictures, how to make sure that your profile picture is not all selling. So you can go and find out that after this. The next area that I want to send you to is the cover photo. Now, as you can see, what I have done here is I have got a cover. Now, this is a bit of fancy photography. It's actually a still picture that I was able to amend the cloud so it makes it look like it's a moving image. So it's actually technically what Facebook looks at it as a video, but it's actually a still of a picture that's always on loop. So it's more attention grabbing. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you this because what you've got the ability to do with the cover photo, and when my Facebook catches up with me, is you have got the chance here to create a slideshow. So you can have a video if you like. So if you've got a really cool video that's done, like a proper one showcasing your property with like drone shots and all of that, you can have that in. If you've had somebody professionally done, you can do so. So you can choose a video, or you can change it and you can do a slideshow. So a slideshow is really effective because you can get up to 5 different pictures. So I was mentioning here about how with the profile picture that you shouldn't be selling. You should be looking for the social aspect. Well, use the cover photo to be selling your property, selling your business, selling the listing. Now, this goes the same for any website that you're listed on. Make sure that the first 5 to 6 pictures are your best ones. So, I'm all for book direct, direct bookings. But if you're on booking.com, if you're on HomeAway, if you're on Airbnb, if you're on any of those, so if you're on any listing sites, really make sure that these 5 pictures, the first ones that people see, are your best ones. So whether that's an interior shot, an exterior shot, whether you do food, whether you've got that unique experience, i.e. farm stay, then make sure you showcase that. And that's where you do so in these first 5 pictures, because these images, they will be scrolling along the top when people land on your page. And again, people click them. You'll be amazed. But when somebody lands on it, and if they've never stayed with you before, or if they've just made the booking and they're coming to check out your Facebook page after they've made the booking, and you may be thinking, well, what's the likelihood of that happening? 57% of people, when they make a booking, they will go to your social media page and they will go to your Facebook page to find out more about you. That's a really high number. So you've got to make sure that the first impression is everything. So nice social image here. In this bit, make sure you make full advantage of your cover photo. Again, I see so many people ignore this and just put one image, but make sure that you either do a video or you fill it out with 5 different images. The key to this is make sure you've got a nice landscape, horizontal picture. Don't use a vertical picture, an iPhone picture, or Android picture where you've taken on your phone, because it will just look crap right here. Make sure you use the 5 full images, make sure you fill them out, and make sure your best ones. Now, the other area that people ignore is this. This is the About Us page. This is where people can find out more about you. It's as important as your About Us page on your website, because the reason being that the About Us page is the second most visited page on your website is that people want to find out more about you. So you can do something as simple as copy and paste what you've got on your website and put it in here, or you can go and do more. So you can add in pictures. So if you were to click on the edit button, so when you come into it, it is just like creating a page on your website. So if I were to add more text, for example, Facebook here gives me the chance, if I want to add a picture, add a caption. So you can just call it what it is. So these are our curly-haired pigs. I'm under pressure here to make sure I spell things right. I know I spelled that wrong, and I guarantee someone will pull me up in it. But here we go. So curly-haired pigs, you've got that in there. You can add a picture again of you, your partner, your family, your team, talk a little bit more about it, about why you've opened up the business, how long you've been running for, X, Y, and Z. And again, whenever you do any writing, whether it's on social media, whether it is on your website, whether it is in an email, always make sure that you are writing with your customer in mind and your ideal customer in mind. So that's what I like to call a customer avatar. If anybody has ever seen any of my training videos before, there's maybe people watching this who are part of the Boostly Academy, which is my training group. I'm a massive component and I'm a massive fan of knowing who your ideal guest is, because if you try and appeal to everybody, you appeal to no one. If you focus your wording, if you focus your pictures, if you focus your social media, your website to your ideal demographic, so ours at the granary, families, people who like to come and stay on a farm, those are our ideal demographics, and we know it down to a T. So the posts that we put out, the wording that we use, the pictures that we use are geared towards that, because 20% of our audience that bring in 80% of our bookings are families. So we really do make sure that we are appealing to that. Now, you may be watching this and you may be different. You may not accept kids. You may be adults only. So make sure that when you're doing the wording and when you're talking about things to do, places to visit, and you're an adults only property, don't mention about, great places to eat if you've got kids. Talk about more of the fine dining options, about places that where your guests like to go, and that is a big tip. And put that into the about us page. Focus on the information that you give about you, your family, why you opened it. Always relate it back to your ideal guest, because if you do that, then you'll make sure that the people that are following your page, the people that interact with your page, will be more likely the type of guest that want to come and stay with you. So those are the 3 key areas, and you can literally make these changes within 10 minutes. So all of these tips that I'm giving you right now are not going to take a week or 2 weeks to do. This is being recorded in possibly what is the busiest week of the year. And I totally that you're going to sit watching this. You might not even be watching this until September, October, until things start to calm down. But what you've got in front of you right now is 3 little things that you can do that will take 10, 15 minutes max. Picture, copy and paste your About Us page, but it'll have a massive improvement on how your Facebook page is seen. So the next thing that I want to share with you is how can you make your posts more visible, more people to engage? Because there's nothing worse than putting a post together and then getting no interaction. So no likes, no clicks, no comments. Doesn't matter how good you make the posts, then you just get 0 engagement with it. And it can feel very frustrating, but there's definitely things that you can be doing, other tactics and tips that you can be doing that not many people do to make sure that you go from 0 likes to getting loads of people engaging, commenting, liking. So one of the first things that I would recommend that you do, and this is helpful for those that maybe don't take a lot of pictures, who maybe don't have a lot of pictures on their phone of their property. Use your guest photos. Now, you may be thinking that's all well and good, but I don't have any. But you'll be surprised if you were to do a simple search on your TripAdvisor page. Now, if anybody has got a TripAdvisor page, if you go look at it and you come into here. So this is the Granaries TripAdvisor page. And then this is what I do. If I'm ever stuck for something to post on our social media, I come into our TripAdvisor and we've got it here. And you've got photos. Now, if you go into traveler photos, what this will show you is what your guests are posting on your TripAdvisor page. Now, not all of them are going to be good. I mean, crap, to be honest. I've just taken a picture of the deck in with the barbecue. But if you've got some really nice ones, so if I highlight this here, it's somebody took it literally a month ago. Nice family picture. This is the view from the deck in with the pond, kid daggling off there, dad watching, and yeah, nice picture. So what I would do, you can either save it or just take a screen grab if you've got one of these fancy Macs. And that could be a picture that you can use. Now, before you put up in the comments, well, do I have to ask permission to use this picture? Because they've posted it on your page, then no, you don't. Now, I always do like to try and find who the guest is to send them a quick message on Facebook or an email just to say, hey, I really love your picture. Do you mind if I use it? But sometimes, especially on TripAdvisor, all you get to go off is that username. And unless you're going to know who 7-Eleven Cafe H is, then that could be tricky. So what I would do is I would word the post on Facebook like this. So if I come in, I'm going to go and grab my picture that I just took a screen grab of, which is here. And I would word it along the lines of, we are this photo taken by a guest of the granary. And it could be, do you have a photo from when you visited us that you would like to share? And then you can just put a little emoji. And again, if emojis is totally alien to you, don't worry about it. Just put some along the lines of comment below, or you could even put leave them below. We love to see them. Now, what this does, number one, nice picture. So when somebody is scrolling on Facebook, and this is one of the big key takeaways from this whole webinar, is if you want to get your Facebook page seen more, you've got to create content that will stop the thumb scroll. Because when somebody is on social media, when they're on their Facebook, more often than not, it's when they're busy doing something else. So they could be in TV, they could be at work, on the bus, in the passenger of the car. Literally their partner could be chatting to them and they're going, yep, scrolling on the phone. So what you're looking to do here is you're looking to grab their attention. And the way to do that is with a good picture. Maybe it's a nice first line capturing their attention. There's loads of different tactics and tips you can do to do this. I read a really good report recently from Social Media Examiner that if in doubt, get out pictures of your pets. So, pets always relate really well on social media posts. So farm stay properties, you've got all of the cute animals in the world to go taking pictures of, especially March, April, May, when it's lambing time. So those are the ones that get the most traction and engagement. So a nice picture. Now this is a real nice picture taken by a guest. And we say, we are loving this photo taken by a guest at a granary. Now, if I knew who took that picture, all that I would do in here is I would mention their name. You can maybe even try and tagging them, which would be pretty cool, because then they get the little tag to say you have mentioned them on their post. If not, this is what you can do. But it's a double-edged sword, because what I'm doing here is I am asking for engagement. And this is the key thing here, is that a lot of the times with social media posts, people just talk. And if people just talk and talk and talk, like I'm doing to you, people are going to drone out. So what you got to do at time to time is you got to ask a question or ask for them to do something. And you got to be super clear. So I've done, do you have a photo from when you visited that you would like to share? Wording is not the best, but English isn't my best. So, but do you have a photo of us, photo from when you visit us that you would like to share? Leave them below. We would love to see them. So you could put maybe leave them below. We would love to see your photos, or let us know when the last time you visited, or, sort of encourage them to comment, encourage them to leave something behind. Don't make it super complicated, but even if it's just a short, sharp, simple comment below. Yes. If anybody's ever watched one of my live videos, so every week I try and do at least 2 videos, live videos. And in the hospitality community, which is my free Facebook group, or the Boostly page, which is, obviously my business page, but do a live video, I'll say right at the very start, if you're watching this on the replay, comment below replay. If you're watching this live, comment live. The reason why I do so is because when people are doing it, they put in the comments, oh, I'm in a comment now, and they comment live or replay. And because you're doing that, because you're getting comments on your post, then the algorithm, the big Facebook algorithm, is kicking in and going, oh, this isn't a spammy post. This is actually a post that people are engaging with. So when your post goes published, so I'm going to publish this now, click that, right? So when you hit this post button, the Facebook algorithm instantly goes, right, we're going to restrict people seeing this post, because Facebook's whole thing around business pages is that a lot of business page posts are spammy. You know what I mean when I say spammy, as in it's trying to sell stuff, spread fake news, all of that. So Facebook's big thing at the moment is to make sure that the news feed that you see as the consumer, as the public, is something that you're going to relate to. Okay. So if you as a business put a post out, and if you can get a load of comments here with people interacting, people chatting, then Facebook will go, oh, this post by this page isn't spammy. I'm going to show it to more people, and it will show it to more of the people that follow your page. So right now, this post is being restricted. We've got over 9,000 followers, 9,000 likes, and it is currently being restricted to maybe 1% of our audience. So it's testing, okay? So there's a lot of things you could do here to turn this from being a normal post that might get over 1 or 2 likes to change it to where you can get loads of comments and likes, more than what I can tell you on this video right now. If you want to find out more about that, then send me an email after this webinar, mark@boostly.co.uk. If you want to find out how to get this from being a 1 like post to, 50 likes, 100 comments, getting loads of people seeing it, and then getting people to book with you on the back of it. Because there's loads of things that you can do. But what I wanted to do with this webinar is to give you some real simple tactics and tips that you can do. So the main takeaway from this part is, number 1, use guest photos. If you're stuck on content, make it one that's going to grab attention. Have the posts engaging. So getting them to do something, get them to leave a comment. All right. And the other thing that you can do, ones that are brave enough to do it, a new feature that Facebook have rolled out and they are really pushing is video, in particular live video. So this will require you having Facebook on your phone, having the Facebook app. And all this means is that when you're at the property next, go live. So it could be as simple as a walkthrough. So next time you've done the clean, you've done the changeover, and this is, more for self-catering. So say you've done the changeover, you've got a nice brand new sparkling property in front of you. It's a nice sunny day. You can just open up the phone, go onto your Facebook app, click go live. So it'll look like something like this, but on your app, on your phone, and just do a walkthrough and just talk through it and say, this is the kitchen, this is the living room, these are our bedrooms, this is the view, this is the experience that you get. Now, because you're going live on Facebook, Facebook will actively promote you more than if it was a standard post, because Facebook are really encouraging business pages to go live at the moment. So those of you that are brave enough, and it doesn't mean you've got to point the camera to you. You can always just do it with the camera's pointing away and you can just do a walkthrough. But those of you who are brave enough to do so, these are the posts that are getting a lot more interaction on it. And again, the first one will be rubbish, just because I remember my first video, I was umming and ahhing and spluttering, couldn't get my words out. It was shocking. But over time, the more you do it, the better you will get. And I've seen so many different types of Facebook pages get really creative with their live videos. I always give the example, and I mentioned about this at a farm stay conference that I spoke at. When me and my family were traveling through India, we stayed in the middle of nowhere in Rajasthan, the northwest of the country, and we stayed in a little B&B. And on the day of checkout, the owner, probably mid-40s, early 50s, got out his phone and just said, would you mind if we do a Facebook Live video testimonial? And I was blown away. Just his Facebook page had so many likes and followers. What he did was, when the guests checked out, he did a Facebook Live video, and he interviewed the guests there and then. So it's an instant review, it's social proof, and it goes on Facebook. And then he tagged us in, so we saw it, and we shared it to our friends. It was amazing. And the reason why I say this story is, if a bed and breakfast in the middle of rural India, where internet is not the best, is doing something like this, then it should give us inspiration that all of us can do it. In the UK, where the internet is a lot better. So there's a couple of ways that you could do it. Again, if there's a guest staying with you, and again, if you live on site, you get on really well with them, say the regulars. When it's next time that you're chatting to them, just say, would you mind if we do something a little bit daft and we go live on Facebook and you tell people why you like to come and stay with us? You can bribe them with a bottle of wine or something like that. But the reason why it will work is because people are seeing people. It's social proof. It's a Facebook Live. You can have a little laugh and a giggle. And at the end of the day, it's creating something that you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to do it. You can just pick up your phone and do it. And it doesn't have to last for long. It can last for like literally less than 3 minutes. But if you do one, and you do two, and you do one a month or two a month, then that's 24 live videos over a year. And, you know, this Facebook page will stop being a page that is just sell, sell, sell. And it'll become a page where people will actually come online to try and go to visit and to see, and they'll search for you, which is something that, you know, not a lot of pages get the benefit of. So the last little thing that I want to say on this before I finish is, I see so many Facebook business pages when it comes to content for their business page, just sharing local news or local events or other people's pages. That is the easy and the most laziest way of doing it. Now, all that you need to do, number one, instead of just sharing an event or sharing a local news, actually take the time, grab the picture, find out the event that's going on, and you may have been at the event, especially if it's an annual event, the one that was this time last year, and talk about it. And again, post it if it's relevant to your audience, and say why you like to go to the event. Is it free parking? Does you have to pay? You know, is there things that they should look out for? So it could be any event. It could, like I say, it could be one that you've been to many times. It's one you've just been to. It could be a local music festival. You can talk about why you like it. You can ask if your guests have been there before in the past. So take a bit of time. Take 2 or 3 minutes to properly structure the post out. Put your own picture on it. It could be a picture of you enjoying the festival last year or the event last year. And that post will look so much better than just you hitting the share button. And it'll work a lot better on Facebook as well. So again, all of these little things that I've shown you tonight don't take a lot of time to do. You can do it literally in your spare time. And it will have a lot more of an effect than how you're doing it at the moment. So hopefully that helps, Emma. I hope people get a lot from it. And if they've got any questions, like you say, you can more than happy to tap away or just let me know.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you so, so much. Like you say, you know, they're little things. They don't take much time, but they're so impactful. Like, I think just from what you've showed us, what you've done on your own page, you can see that there's real benefit to take from it. So thank you so much. I'm sure everyone will relay their thanks as well. There was one thing that I wanted to share as well. It's something that we've sort of realised recently. It's something I've actually nabbed from my colleague Jo, who you know as well, Mark. She is a self-caterer as well, and she's got a property in Cornwall. So Jo is just starting up, and she's, you know, starting her Facebook page from scratch, her website from scratch, her SuperControl from scratch. You know, it's all very new, and she's got a lot of knowledge in this area. But you know, one thing that she's picked up recently, just from doing her own research, is this really, really cool trick. So in Jo's specific case, she went from having 86, for instance, 80 odd likes to over 1,000 likes, and that was in 2 days. That is a sort of one-off. That's not something you can do weekly. I think people would start to become unengaged, and that works with certain types of businesses. So it's something to consider. It could be a really useful tactic just to sort of give it a shot and see what you can do. But yeah, that's my piece of feedback.
Yeah, good one. Yes, and again, it takes less than 2 minutes to do.
Absolutely.
And the main thing is you got to show them. Don't just say, "Hey, invite your friends." Just say, "Go to here." And if you're confident enough to do a video, do a video. But say, "Click on here, click on there," and then if you can do it, yeah, amazing. But like Jo's results there are phenomenal. If you wanted to incentivize people, you could do from saying that everybody that does, let us know, and we'll do whatever it could be, 5% off your next day, or enter into a draw, or some to win something, you know, something like that. If you wanted to incentivize, or you can just ask. But yeah, great little tips, lovely.
Absolutely. And what I wanted to say as well, at the end of this webinar, you'll see that we have attached some of resources from Mark's website, Boostly. So we do encourage you to go and have a look at that. He's got so many really, really great blogs and other bits of advice, like he says. So we'll attach some of these resources to this webinar. And like he said, get in touch with him directly if you want to know any more.
Sounds
So
good.
thank you everyone for listening, and thank you again, Mark, for joining us and sharing all these really useful tips.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Well, we'll speak soon then.